Hello, this is Janet Michael. In addition to hosting The Valley Today each weekday at noon on the River 95.3, I also produce podcasts. And I'm excited to kick off Season 2 of our podcast series in partnership with Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. It's called We Are REC. Every week we'll release a new episode talking to different people from REC about a host of different topics. We'll get tips for saving money on your electric bill. We'll talk about renewable energy and the impact it can have in our communities. We'll get some behind-the-scenes info about what happens when the power goes out in a storm. Don't miss out on information about community grants, scholarships, REC-hosted events, and more. Get every single episode on our website at theriver953.com under the podcast tab, or you can subscribe for free in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or on Spotify. Just do a quick search for We Are REC. Hello and welcome to The Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is so weird being in the studio, but it is Municipal Monday. Doug Stanley, Warren County Administrator, is sitting across the desk 6 feet-ish away from me, and you're one of only 3 on average now, Doug, of live shows that I'm doing in a month. I always do your shows live. I always do the shows with Nikki from the Front Royal Chamber live, and when Lieutenant Warren Gosnell comes over from Frederick County, we typically do his shows live. So I still have a little bit of practice.
Is that the next normal? Is that what we're...
Hey, if it means I can record my shows from my kitchen in my pajamas over Zoom and have video to put on our YouTube channel,
that works.
I'm never leaving my house again. But thank you for coming over and hanging out with me as we always do every month. I assume you've got a coronavirus update for me.
Yeah, so number one, I think Warren County's total this morning was 231 cases. Things have been flat the last week or so, which is good news for the community. Obviously, with the kind of reopening of restaurants and the Black Lives Matter March for the community we had about a week and a half ago, a little concerned that, could you see an increase in cases? So I think the other thought is, hey, warmer weather, just like the regular flu. Hopefully that will knock it down. But county staff continue to monitor the situation, take necessary precautions. The government center officially opened back up fully to the public on June 8th. We had kind of timed that out. We had a soft opening the previous 2 weeks with the Treasurer and Commissioner of the Revenue, with taxes due on June 5th. So now that that's behind us, we've opened up. Masks and face coverings are required for those who can wear them. We have masks available there when you come into the building. And so far, we've experienced no reopening issues. Parks and Rec, in support of the governor's Forward Virginia Phase 2 plan, Parks and Rec open additional portions of outdoor facilities for group exercise on May 15th. Subject to the following: use of outdoor facilities is still at your own risk. Persons in a high-risk group, as determined by the CDC, which includes persons over 65 who has a significant medical condition, including but not limited to asthma, is not recommended. They use those facilities other than the walking trails. And groups of 50 or more individuals under Phase 2 are still prohibited. And we're certainly encouraging the practicing of social distancing and encouraging folks to be safe until we can get through this. So playgrounds, picnic shelters, trails, the skate park, and other open spaces are open to the general public with new signs posted. All park system restrooms remain locked and closed with signs posted, but we have put out, I believe, 5 additional portable restrooms to be available. They're cleaned a couple times a week. Our tennis courts remain open for singles play only with social distancing required. Our basketball courts, and we do get asked this question a lot, they're still closed at this time. And we are going to be opening up the pool here in the next week to lap swimming and exercise with the restrictions as outlined by the state. Our Public Safety Building Community Room has now been reopened to the public and is available by reservation, and folks can contact the Warren County Sheriff's Office to reserve. We will have a Board of Supervisors meeting tomorrow night. That'll be our first in-person meeting back, so the public can attend in person, subject to the social distancing, other requirements.
And no more than 50 would apply for that
Correct,
too, right?
correct. And the library is also opening by appointment only late this week, so that's good news. And that's coming back open. I got a message. So, we had an outbreak at the RSW Regional Jail. At one point, I think we had up to about 77 inmates that had tested positive. Most of them were in one particular pod of the jail. And we had about 6 staff cases. Right now, knock on wood, no active staff or inmate cases. So
good.
That's good news.
Got a handle on that pretty quickly.
They did. And Russ Gilkison, our superintendent, done a great job of leadership out there. And, it's one of those, any of the congregate facilities, whether it's a rest home, nursing home, rehab facility, a jail, prison facilities, because of the proximity and the close contact, it's hard to manage that. But we've been fortunate. We had nobody hospitalized at the jail and have been able to get through this first wave. And let's keep our fingers crossed that we can continue that. But I did want to, again, express thanks to Rick Farrell, who's our Deputy Emergency Services Coordinator, and Chairman Mabe for their support, as well as the rest of our emergency response team. We continue to meet on a weekly basis and are trying to do the things we can to be prudent about management of county affairs and trying to encourage the public to be safe as well. And I think the community as a whole has done a great job getting through this, and now we'll have you're starting to hear some talk about the CARES Act money and both the town and county side, and trying to work to help some of our local businesses who have had such a tough time during the last 3 months.
Nikki and I talked briefly about it when she was here a few weeks ago about the potential for the chamber getting some funding, since they were left out of all of the different rounds of funding that were available to small businesses and nonprofits. So that's, I think, on the agenda for the meeting tomorrow night.
So they had asked for $5,000 a month from the town and the county. So we're looking at 6 months of that. So in total, that would be $60,000. The tough part for the chamber is, their major fundraisers, maybe 75-80% of their income is the big events, whether it's the wine and craft, their annual dinner, or the golf tournament. So all those things you had to put the pause button on those. So I think it's a matter, and they are playing a crucial role right now supporting our local businesses. I know the Front Row to Go and a couple other initiatives they've been working on, really geared towards helping businesses survive during this pandemic, and we appreciate Nikki and the Chamber Board for everything they're doing. I do want to.
I was going to say, speaking of appreciation, I'm looking at the next thing on your list.
Every week, have been trying to recognize and highlight employees who have, I would say, gone above and beyond the call of duty to help during the COVID-19 pandemic. Those who are helping to make sure the county is prepared to meet the challenges presented by the coronavirus, and who are ensuring that essential services are being provided to citizens. This week, the county is recognizing Emily Shiraki. She's the Board of Supervisors Deputy Clerk. In addition to her duties with the board, she serves as my executive assistant.
Oh, bless her heart.
And from the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, Emily has been involved in the county's, she's our public information officer, so she's handling all the press release, all the information that's been going out about the pandemic to get the word out to the community and talk about the county's efforts to combat the virus. She's also been instrumental in handling all the arrangements for all of our various electronic board and committee meetings. So running those Google Meet.
As somebody who has done so many Zoom meetings, that is not as easy as people think it is.
And our county budget hearing. We were able to have the budget hearing and take comments live on YouTube and be able to relay those to the board. So Emily has been able to handle all those extra duties while doing her regular job. She also found the time to get married during this pandemic. And, it was tough. She had to, hit pause on our formal ceremony and go get married. But she is really, we couldn't have done it without her. So, Emily, thank you for all you've done and continue to do every day to make Warren County run smoother.
Absolutely. And a quick shout out to her new husband, because I'm sure he deserves a little bit of that credit, too.
He's a first responder. So.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. Good for her. Well, that's great. And, having to deal with you on a regular basis anyway should get a hazard pay pandemic or not. So what else is happening? Is that all we need to cover from a coronavirus perspective?
We are continuing to keep an eye on our, I call it our coronavirus vulnerable revenue. And those, for Warren County, those include sales tax, meals tax, lodging tax, and also BPOL. Fortunately, I guess BPOL is due by March 1, so that really we met budget on that. That was paid and due before the coronavirus really kicked in. Sales tax, believe it or not, so this is May, which is 2 months back, so that would have been March collections. They were up over the previous year by almost $38,000, up about 10%. This March over last. I'm still waiting to get in. April will be the first full month. We should be getting that data in any day now. Meals tax for April, which would have been part of March, was down about 54%, and lodging tax was down about 46%. Those are much smaller categories, so that would have been down maybe $40,000, but have been offset by the sales tax numbers. So all in all, I think our budget revenues will hold for the year, and I think that's the swing is while they're maybe not going out to eat as much, they're spending more at the grocery stores and the Walmarts and the Target. So we'll see over the next probably 45 days how May and June come in, but with things starting to open back up, I've been really pleased and pleasantly surprised that the numbers are holding.
Well, and I know March is probably a lot of people just stocking up, trying to prepare for the potential of staying home for 14 days. I know it has completely changed my entire grocery shopping habits, and I am buying extra every time I go to the grocery store so that I now have somewhat of a stockpile. I'm not going in and buying 1,400 rolls of toilet paper, but I'm getting an extra thing of laundry detergent every third time I shop so that I've got it when I need it and I'm not taking it away from anybody else. So I'm glad the numbers are ultimately, hopefully, going to shake out and kind of balance everything out. So
absolutely.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll get into the nuts and bolts of actual county business. Does that work?
That works.
Okay, we're going to do all of that when we come back. We are live in the studio today for Municipal Monday. We are having our regular monthly conversation with Warren County Administrator Doug Stanley, and we're going to continue that conversation in just a couple of minutes. Expecting to hear a commercial? That's what this is, sorta. First, I want to thank you for listening to the Valley Today podcast. You're one of thousands who listen to the show this way every month. Sometimes it's because our listeners are busy and they want to listen when it fits their schedule, or it's a guest of the show who want to hear what they sounded like when they were on the radio. We even have a few binge listeners who listen to a week's worth at a time. Can you even imagine? So if you want those people, your potential customers, to hear your message, then this could have been your ad. And the bonus, your commercial isn't restricted to just 30 or 60 seconds. You can take up to 2 minutes to talk to those customers. And there's even the opportunity to be an exclusive sponsor of the Valley Today podcast, which also gets you on-air mentions at the end of every show. If any of this sounds interesting to you, give me a call at the station, 540-635-4121, or send me an email to janet@theriver953.com. You can also find all my contact info by searching for me on theriver953.com. Welcome back to the Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. We are live in the studio today for Municipal Monday. Doug Stanley, Warren County Administrator, my favorite county administrator, is sitting across the desk from me, and we did a big old coronavirus update for the county in the first segment. If you missed any of it, it will be up on the River's website later this afternoon. Just head over to theriver953.com and click the Valley Today banner at the top, or just click podcasts on the navigation. Doug, I know you've got a lot of other county business. The next thing on the list is Finance Department. I understand you've got a new number cruncher named Munch.
We do. So today is the first work day for Jonathan Munch. John is a CPA, is a certified public finance officer, and he's the new finance director for Warren County as of today. John graduated from George Mason in Fairfax with a Bachelor of Science in Accounting, and he's been a CPA since 2002. And a certified public finance officer since 2015. He's also a Virginia Contracting Associate certification he's had since 2018. John's an active member of the Virginia Government Finance Officers Association, having served as president and as an executive board member. In that capacity, he chaired a number of committees and subcommittees, and he's also served as a conference speaker and instructor for both VGFOA and the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States. He fills the vacancy created this last October when Andre Fletcher resigned to go. He went back to work for Prince William County, but Andre has continued to work part-time for us, and that's been very helpful.
Oh, yeah.
John joins us from Fauquier County, where he's been employed for the past 7 years as the Director of Finance for the Fauquier County Government and Public Schools. They have a combined finance department. It's for once, it's nice to be able to steal from one of the larger localities,
Instead
honestly.
of the other way around.
In Fauquier, he was responsible for planning, implementing, and directing financial operations of the Consolidated Finance Department, which included financial reporting, planning, implementation of the fiscal policy, oversight of the debt portfolio and issuance of debt, and the direction of preparation of budget, internal audit, and pre-audit functions. Prior to his tenure in Fauquier, he was employed by Prince William, where he served progressively responsible accounting positions for almost 8 years. So we're very fortunate to have someone of John's knowledge, his background, and expertise joining our staff. The finance director position and the responsibilities that come with it are an extremely important and integral component of the leadership team, and I believe John will be a great fit for Warren County. And but I also want to, again, express my gratitude to both Carolyn Stimmel and Andre Fletcher, both former finance directors, for their support in helping to fill in and ensure that the important functions were performed and reviewed each month, and that the budget and audit functions for the past year were completed on time. I also appreciate the hard work of our dedicated finance staff, including Christine Howe, our payroll technician, Ivy Thompson, our accounting technician who handles all our AP, and Jeannie Decker, our CSA coordinator, and Connie Oden, who's our former administrative assistant, whose services was invaluable in the daily operations of the department.
So I understand, though, from a human resources perspective, and I was very, very, very sad to see this, but we are losing who I feel was amazing at the Department of Social Services.
Deanna is fantastic.
Yes.
And she's tendered her resignation effective July 8th. Deanna's been employed as the county's DSS director since July 1 of 2017, following Beth Revis's retirement. Deanna is leaving to take the DSS director position with the city of Williamsburg. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Our loss is their gain, I guess. So we're extremely sad to see Deanna leave our department and our community. I've been really pleased by her growth over the last 4 years, both as the assistant director for a year under Beth and as director for 3 years. She's worked hard to stabilize staffing within the department during her tenure. And really during the last few months, she's worked diligently to help the community through the pandemic by working to support CCAP and their food distribution, as well as the thermal shelter with their support of the homeless in our community. Deanna was also, and we've worked with her with Rotary Club, but instrumental in helping get an Operation Warm here in our community, Coats for Kids, to make sure that any kid who needed a coat in our community would be able to have one during the winter. So we wish her her best in her new step in her career, and we're immediately looking to begin to find someone to replace Deanna, and we hope to have someone with strong interpersonal skills and a strong background in dealing with state, local, and community agencies, like we did have with Deanna, and her passion for social services and the clients that we serve was very evident in the community.
And she was a great resource for me. She has done the show several times with me. I always look forward especially to having her on the bus when we do Camping for Hunger. So add that to your list of job qualifications. They got to be okay for the radio show as well. So Development Review Committee, tell me about all the cool stuff that's coming.
So they met virtually May 27. Committee discussed several projects in the county, including several short-term conditional use permit applications. Those are the short-term rentals where people want to take their house and or cabin and rent it out for a week or less. Also talked about the multi-tenant building. That's the building there at Riverton Commons on the corner where the bank used to be, that will eventually house not only Five Guys, but Chipotle, and then hopefully a third business is yet unnamed. We've got a potential landscaping business out on Winchester Road, and a proposed private school on East Refuge Church Road. Committee also discussed projects in town, including an update on the sheet site project. The building's underway and looks like maybe a month away.
It looks like it's pretty much almost ready to open.
And to put all the rumors to rest, looks like Harbor Freight will be moving to the former Big Lot space there at Gateway Plaza. And then also the former bake site, Gateway, is in the planning stages to be converted to some type of drive-through restaurant-type business. So we'll hopefully in another month be able to talk about that a little bit.
Now, were you concerned at all when the pandemic hit about what was the Five Guys and the Chipotle possibly saying, hey, we want to pump the brakes because we don't know what's going on?
I think the good news is that contracts and stuff have been signed. But I think this is one of maybe like the fourth or fifth Chipotle in the country that'll have drive-through. Oh. So I think that certainly
they were making a statement that they didn't want to bail on.
That's right. So hopefully that it's all going to work out. And certainly, I think those businesses that have the drive-through option were in a much better position to be able to compete.
So what's going on tourism-wise?
So tourism committee presented future options for tourism to both the council and the board on different nights. The committee met with representatives of the council and board since then to review the options and make some recommendations moving forward. The board of supervisors will vote on a proposed option at their meeting tomorrow night. And permits have been approved for the county to place a love sign at the intersection of Guard Hill and Route 345-22. If you came by there today, you may have seen staff out there starting to do some work. So keep an eye when you go back out across the bridges.
I'll look when I go back out.
The other thing, wayfinding signage on June 9th, Taryn Logan, County Planning Director, presented the wayfinding signage project to representatives from the Central VDOT Office Traffic Engineering Division. This is the kind of signage to guide people into the community and to the amenities, whether it's downtown, the visitor center, to places like the Caverns or the State Park or Shenandoah National Park.
Any of the businesses over on South Street,
So VDOT is supportive of the proposal, sign designs, the proposed routes and destinations. VDOT was very complimentary of how the county and town have worked together to coordinate a consistent, integrated wayfinding signage system in the community. A lot of times we get beat up about, hey, the town and county don't work together, and this is one of those great examples where, we're working together very diligently. They requested some additional items, which Frazier has sent them for their final approval. The next step to move forward with the bid process is for installation and work with developing the signage, and to work with the local residency to coordinate the final sign locations in the field. So those are the next couple steps.
Because that's as important as what the signs are going to look like, is where you put them, because they're not going to be good wayfinding signs if they don't actually show up where you need them.
So you need to funnel folks from those routes coming into the community and, again, get them to those destinations.
Yeah. So what is the status of Rivermont? Is it are they open?
we're about 2/3. I think last week we're like 65.5%. So we're about 2/3 complete. Things are still moving progressively forward to being able to finish the building this fall. As I promised Joe on numerous occasions, we're still on target. So that's moving along well. The other big project is the Equus Warehouse facility. That's the 324,000 square foot warehouse just north of the RSW Regional Jail. They're working on their comments and responses to DEQ for their site plan. And then we've got a number of other small projects that we've been working on, and including trying to look at potentially applying for some grant funding to update the Bentonville boat landing down there by the bridge. And looks like in July we're going to have a public hearing on the Morgan Ford boat landing project there right next to the bridge. So we're excited about that. So lots of good stuff going on in the community, and we're trying to, even with COVID going on, trying to keep all the balls in the air and keep all these projects moving forward.
Yeah, a pandemic is certainly not slowing you guys down in any way, shape, or form.
Nope. Sometimes it makes it a little bit harder, to get it done. But I've been amazed at our staff and their ability to kind of stop, reverse,
and
pivot, change the way they're doing things. Building inspection is a great way. The staff, we had 13 new house starts that came in May, and they've been slamming every day and getting it done, and doing it for the most part electronically and working with folks. So just really impressed with staff and how they've been able to adapt.
Now, do you think a lot of those things, or at least some of those things that you've had to change because of the pandemic, may stay into the future because they've realized, hey, we could make this work long term?
Again, building inspection is a great example. I think a lot of the customer base, and we were starting to go that way, but now that they had to go that way electronically, they're going to be comfortable. I think some of that stuff is going to be more electronic and remote from here forward.
Makes it a whole lot easier for them to just kind of be able to get it done. And if the public is in favor of it, then there's no reason not to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking some time out of your clearly busy schedule to come and hang out with me today. I always appreciate our county updates.
Thank you very much. Good to see you again, Janet.
We are going to wrap up today's conversation with Warren County Administrator Doug Stanley. It was now, because we're wrapping up Municipal Monday. Tomorrow is Tourism Tuesday, Luray Page County edition. I have already recorded tomorrow's show. I actually recorded it on Friday, and it is a fun conversation with Bill Huffman from Luray Caverns. I'd never had Luray Caverns on in all of the time that I've. Yes, they were open in the 1800s and never closed until this pandemic.
Wow.
Insane that and I have not ever been there, and I caught a fair amount of grief off air about that. So tune in tomorrow. I'll have that show ready to go for you, and I'll be back just a few minutes after noon with a whole new episode of The Valley Today. So meet me back here then.